How y'all doing? Like he's back, man. They still they haven't come get him yet. Oh, guys, some incredible things have happened, and I'm telling you, I can't make this up. I have to continue to make these videos. So, you know, ah, what can I say? What can I say? So where we left off, and I'm gonna recap. In the last videos, we did. Let me see. Where is what prophecy? Yeah. Let's look at the last videos we did. Right. So today is November 15th. Right. About to head back to have to usher in about an hour and a half or 2 hours. So have some time to write a video. So in the last videos, we did defeating the lion, right? Working on defeating the bear, discovering the giant, discovered my gift, encountered an angel, newfound voice and ability, and created a board game. Now, for those of you that haven't seen these videos, okay, so let me just give you some preface, okay? Let me give you some preface. Just stay with me. I know this sounds ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous. I know. I know it sounds ridiculous if I was somewhere else explaining this and had never dealt with. So I'll give you some preface. Before this, I've been doing some Bible studies, and I run Bible studies on this platform, Hope City Business Connect. It's a business-based Bible study. Now, about a month and a half ago, and I'm going to give you hopefully the cliff notes. I prayed this prayer of Jabez, and now I just lost a few. Prayer of Jabez. Okay, I don't even know who Jabez is. Yeah, is a young kid from the hood. No, so young Jabez going back. Won't even know cliff notes. I prayed this prayer of Jabez, and the prayer of Jabez was for you to expand your territory. And when Jabez prayed this prayer, God granted him that gift. Okay, so I am in this Bible study that I run on Wednesday nights every other week. I also am in a Bible study with, and I don't even know how I got here. Right, I was invited about a year and a half ago after a Freedom Conference to be in this Bible study, and this Bible study is with some of the top pastors in Pastor Jeremy, our lead pastor, Pastor Daniel, Pastor Trevor. A bunch of high influential. We're talking a few of the richest people in the United States are in this group, right? And I get invited, and you kind of thinking, how did I'm not dirt, but I'm not, okay, I'm here. Thank you. Embrace it. So I'm in this Bible study, needless to say, going back about a month ago, we get in a circle, and Pastor Daniel says, hey, would anybody like to pray a prayer? And I said, yes. Can I pray the prayer of Jabez? Can you pray that with me? And I would like God to increase my territory, right? So we pray that prayer. Great. We leave the Bible study. Now, over the last couple of weeks, some things have been happening to me in the last week. And it started with the election. And everybody knows the election, right? We just finished that. People were staring at the TV for days. And everybody knows it takes 270 votes to win an election. And, we saw it for days. We got a bucket of votes coming. Just give us 1 second. Let's go to commercial. Brilliant game by the media, right? Get that advertising revenue. But at the same time, I don't know, the 270, there's social injustice, like there's a bunch of, hey, what's going to happen? And people are, and all that's happening. So that night I go and I seek down in, right? It was a long day. So full disclosure, a little bit of whiskey, right? So I'm in my hot tub in my bathroom, and I kind of doze off. Now I'm going to lose a few of you here, right? You're going to be like, yeah, this is it. I'm done. I'm done with this. So I sink down into the tub, and I get a vision. And every single Easter, right, I watched the 10 Commandments, right? Growing up, you remember Moses, and It's the scene of right before Moses is going to part the Red Sea. But before he parts the Red Sea, he throws the staff at me and says, "Let your people go. You're the chosen one." Hits the staff, and I wake up, right? And I'm freaked out. I'm like, "Oh my goodness." Ooh, yeah, must have drank too much whiskey. Moses is talking to me. So I want to do that like that again. So needless to say, after that, I've been having visions of different things, and they've started to happen. I've been listening for some reason at the gym. Every time I go to the gym, and sometimes I go late night, a lot of Nipsey has been cut, and I've been like engulfed in Nipsey, right? And spoke some things into the universe, and they appear. Find your purpose, or you wasting air. I want to help you, but y'all just scared, right? I like these things just keep playing. And Nipsey and a lot of Mac Miller, like Mac Miller has been like in my spirit for something. It's like a different, it's like what I've been listening to. I don't know why. Either way, I'm gonna tell you guys what has happened in the last few days. I had just Cliff Notes version again, speed up. I was told that I was gonna have to defeat, and I know I lost some of y'all. Moses, like, yeah, Moses is talking to him. Okay, I was told that I was gonna have to defeat a lion. A lion. I was gonna have to encounter and defeat a bear and defeat a giant. Okay, now, yeah. So no drugs were no herbs or alcohol was hurt in the making of this message. I don't have anything, but like I'm telling you, nothing. So encountering the lion. I know this sounds crazy, right? So I'm going to tell you before I go into that. I know. If I was somebody else and like I was listening to the story, so okay, sir, tell me your story. Okay, so you're about to. Here's what you're about to tell me, right? You're about to tell me about the lion. Okay, does the lion speak to you? Okay, a lion. A giant. Okay, uh, how big was the giant? Is he a friendly giant? A bear. You're gonna tell us about a disappearing. You saw it, and he disappeared. Okay, what else? I don't know. Come. Okay, what else? Something happened with your car. Your car broke down, and then you just magically took that same car somewhere else. But now your car. Okay, yeah. Okay, and then now what else? You're getting visions of. Hmm. Okay. Well, yeah. What else? Bear, lion, giant. Do I have it all? What else? Oh, you're starting to rap now. Okay, so you you get songs in your head. Okay, so there's these nice two people over here. They're gonna help you and just go with them. They're gonna give you a special jacket that's gonna protect you from the lion, right? That's what I would say. I know it sounds nuts. It sounds crazy, but this stuff keeps happening to me. It keeps no, not happening to me. It keeps just moving forward. I asked for this, right, man? And I'm gonna show you something in this video, and y'all are gonna be like, man, spoke some things into the universe, and they be paired. Oh, whew, 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 whew. I can't make this up, y'all. Can't make it. That's why I'm making these videos, Emu, before they come get us, I'm making these videos, man. Now, I talked about all these books and having to write 270 books, having to write the 54 books, right? All these things coming up, having these visions about the election, the premonition, about the 270, how things add up, the having to defeat the lion, and the lion was just cliff notes. The lion coming up. The next day, I went to Bible study, and Pastor Daniel, the first thing he was preaching was about a lion and how it will devour you, how the enemy does not like you, and he will devour you like a lion. The next, right? And then all these things started happening. I went to go take a test, a COVID test, right? Because I was told out of the blue, and I feel fine, wasn't even sick. I was told you were gonna have to encounter the lion, but don't be scared. You'll beat it within 24 hours. I go take a COVID test. I'm positive for COVID test. Right after I take that COVID test, I was told, look, don't worry. You're going to beat this lion within 24 hours. And then I drove 40 minutes, y'all, to the north side. And right next to where I don't even know, there's 1,000 places that I could have got. I live in the Heights, right? We live in the Heights. 1,000 places I could have gotten COVID test. I go way to the north side, and then my car breaks down. My car just starts tripping like crazy, like crazy. It breaks down, and it was good. I just got it fixed a couple weeks ago, a little coolant issue, right? And it was good. And my mechanic is 0.7 miles away from where I was on the north side. 0.7 miles away, and I start getting numbers like 0 is a clear path, you'll have to look no direction. 7 is lucky, right? Lucky. And I know this sounds crazy, guys, but stay with it's. You wouldn't believe. You wouldn't believe. I know you wouldn't believe it. Bottom line, I go to, and this is just a recap. I go to my mechanic. My mechanic says, okay, let me put it on the thing. And right when I go to my mechanic and he's checking it, I hear you're about to encounter the bear. Now, a preface before this, I did not know like lions and bears, what is all this? So the night before, when I heard you're going to have to encounter, you're going to have to defeat a lion in the next 24 hours, it threw me off. So I Googled defeating the lion, right? This is 4 o'clock in the morning. I Googled defeating the lion, and there's 3 things that you have to encounter with the lion. Now, I'm an amateur on the Bible, and I remember stories, right? Grew up in church. I remember in stories. Now, that's a story of David. And David, in order to beat the giant, right? Everybody knows the story of David and Goliath. On the way, he encountered a lion, a bear, and a giant. Now, okay, then that's that next message, right? That next morning, Pastor Daniel, first thing, talked about the enemy is trying to devour you like a lion, right? Okay, I know. Lost some of you. The next one, when I go to my mechanic, I hear you're about to encounter the bear while my mechanic goes out, right? He comes back, and this is just a version. He comes back and he says, hey, I got bad news. This is his exact language. I have bad news. And I'm half listening to him because just like the night before, I'm Googling defeating the bear. And I've never had visions and all this. So I'm looking for I'm like, there's going to be, I don't want to see anything, right? Like a bear, they're going to take me away. This guy is crazy. And there's no bear. So I'm like, is something going to come from the zoo, escape? He says, bad news, bad news. You blew the head gaskets on your car. And dude, it's a $15,000 repair, right, on a Land Rover. I'm like, oh, but I'm half listening to him and I say, oh, because what I pull up, I said, oh, simultaneously, because what I pulled up coincided. I pulled up 2 articles when he said that. One was of a stock market article, and it's of the bull and the bear, right? A bull is when a market goes up. A bear is when a financial crisis, right? Bear market. The other thing I pulled up was the Bad News Bears. It's a football team, right? And he's telling me about this expensive repair and a bear, right? And I'm like, oh, I just encountered the bear. Well, good. Let's strap in for this, right? I guess I'm not gonna see anything. That's cool, right? Maintain my sanity. So I said, okay. needless to say, I take an Uber, go down. I get a call from my Pastor Jordan, somebody that hasn't called in a while. And I've been trying to get in touch with each for about a month and a half, right? And we finally get together. Needless to say, I take an Uber down. We have a conversation. It turns out that he prophesies over people, and he said the last thing he said before, and this is a random call. I've been trying to call him for a month now. If he would have called me 2 weeks before that, we wouldn't have had a conversation like that. As I drive down, right, and I go back, take the Uber. As I drive down, the last few things he says to me is, "Hey, Alan, I hear that God has a calling on your life. I want you to embrace it. And what the things that I'm telling you are not a revelation, but they're a confirmation of the things that you already know, right? Of the things that you've already seen. And I want you to embrace the calling on your life and the hand that God has on you. And the things that are happening to you are like the things that icons are made of." That's what he said, right? So I want you to embrace it. But one thing I do want you to do is I want you to really find your voice, okay? I want you to find your voice. And I know you're listening to some meditation and some other thing, and I just started meditating, like just it's another story. Just started meditating, but he said record your own voice and really listen to your own voice and find your voice. I say, okay, I go to sleep, wake up the next morning, 3:10, and this has happened a few times. The significance of 3:10 is exactly 200. If you decode it, it's 270 seconds, right? 3:10 is 270 seconds, or it's 2 minutes and 70 seconds. And all these numbers add up, like 270, 54. In my business, we decided to expand, right? Because we get grants and we know how to get $100,000 for each call center that we create, $120,000. So we expanded to 54. Now there's only 50 states in the US, but for some reason we said, hey, well, I've been to Toronto, let's do one there. I've been to Guadalajara, let's do one there. Let's do one in DC, and let's do one in Puerto Rico. So let's expand to 54. Now 54 is a random number. It's random, right? But I start getting messages in 54, and things start to add up to 54, and 5 times 54 is 270, and I start getting columns and all these things and messages from the pyramids, right? And the 54 adds up, and I know I know. This guy's lost it again. Look, there's no lean back here. There's no syrup, no colored pills back here. This is just word, y'all. So I start getting all these numbers that start to add up. Like 7 is a lucky number. Things that just add up to 7. And I'm gonna show you something in a minute, and you're gonna be like, okay. Before you had my curiosity, now you got my attention, right? Well, I'm gonna have your attention here in a second. Now, before Pastor Jordan, I am looking at my car, and this car was always my dream car, right? I'd always wanted a Range Rover, always, since I was a kid, and I first saw one. Now, right when I look at it, I'm kind of in my mind like, dang, man, 15, I'm gonna have to get this, right? And just get something else. And he's like, I hear the voice that says, don't worry, God's already replaced it. I've already replaced it. Okay. So remember that. Fast forward, go down. After the conversation with Pastor Jordan, this is a couple, not the course of a couple days. So within a couple days, I know this sounds ridiculous. I know. Okay. Back to my story, and to recap, at the end, right? At the end of talking to Pastor Jordan that night, I wake up at 3:10, and I start getting a message, and that message is, hey, you have found your voice, and you're now about to you're you're now encountering your giant. And it's 3:10, right? It's 3:20 in the morning. If y'all ever like seen scary movies, you're like, man, this is it. This is it for me, right? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaq, and they just going bust in my house, and it's over. Been having all these visions, lions and tigers, and bear, giants. They're just gonna take you away. So I'm like, yeah, this is a giant, in my house. Let me go check on my little girl, make sure the giant hasn't got her, right? I get another message, and the message says, the giant is not somebody that you need to conquer. The giant is within you. Find your voice. And at the same time, I'm listening to, I'm sorry, before that, I go to sleep, and this may have been before 3:10. Actually, this was that night, and then I get this other message at 3:10. This was at night after talking to Pastor Jordan. This is probably, and you can look at the other videos, because I have to document all this. You'll see my raw notes. You'll see all the misspellings, because it's just me texting away furiously. So this is probably like at 10 o'clock. And if you look at all the other videos, I even give you the raw notes of the text message that I write at that time. And I remember at that time, that's when, I was already real tired because I hadn't slept the night before, and take a nap, wake up like at 10 or whatever the time is, you'll see. And that's when I get this message. I am listening to, I wake up and my phone is still on, and it's a Chicago Freestyle by Drake, right? I hear that, and some other things are happening. Like I just wake up, it's an unfamiliar, and I hear about a couple different premonitions and visions that I'm having. So I get that message of, look, you're about to encounter the giant. This is you. And I'm like, the Drake Freestyle, this is you. What do you mean? You're about to encounter the giant. This is you. The giant is not somebody that you're going to have to conquer. The giant is within you. The giant in me. And then I start getting all kinds of things. Fast forward, I start getting verses. I start getting different beats are coming together. Now, I don't have, when it comes to musical talent, my best friend's like, Mnu, that's you. That's you, man. Mozzie, that's you. That's not the musical thing. That's not really me. But I get a message of, I need to work through you in a variety of different ways. You're going to get some message and some different plays. When you are a teacher, you will have some different says, right? And I'm just getting started, like all this alliteration plays. So the message, you will need to entertain, and you're going to have to use different things to take your people out of captivity. And I keep on hearing this. And a few things that you need to do is you're going to need to you're going to need to help them with equity. You're going to need to help rise these 270 communities up out of the dust, like the pyramids, right? You're going to have to, I know this sounds nuts, you're going to have to teach them that profits are better than wages. These are different things that'll help your people. And I start getting all these little messages, boom, boom, boom. And then these books, I start getting the name of the books that I need to write. I start getting the name of the messages. I start getting all these different verses, the unique combination of helping people finding their purpose and the verses with the products, with learning how to profit will go platinum, right? And that's the message that I got when I was listening to that Drake freestyle. This is your giant. You're going to have to accomplish this, right? You're going to have to put all this together in order to beat your giant, and the giant's inside of you, and unlocking an Ephesians 3:20 life where anything more than you could ever believe, thought, or imagine is in there, right? And then I start encountering all of these things. Fast forward that next day when it comes to the lion. Remember when I told you that I'd beat it in 24 hours? Recap of the last video, I also took a swab test during that time, PCR test, right? The swab. And when I got that back exactly 24 hours after, he called me and said, "Hey, I have your results. Let me email them to you." And it was negative. And right when it was negative, I heard, "You have now beat the lion as promised within 24 hours," right? When this happened with my car, with the bear, I was told, "Don't worry about the bear. You will beat it within 3 to 4 days. You will defeat it within 3 to 4 days." And I'm like, man, okay. I get another dream, right? In the middle of the day, 2 days ago, get another dream of Lucius Lyon, right? Of Empire, hitting me in the chest. And he says, "You're soft," right? And he's yelling. We're in the studio. He's soft. He's hitting me. He's like, "You soft, right? I want you to go get." You ain't got it, man. But you do. Write this down. And he throws a notebook at me. And he's like, "Go get this for me. Go get me the hook from the cook. Go get me the deepest pain you've ever found in your life. Go get me the most gruesome thing you've ever seen. Go watch the video of Kobe and Dwight Howard. Go." And he starts telling me all these different things. And the last thing that Lucius says, okay, yeah, it's great now. Lucius Lyon is talking to you. The last thing he says is, "Look at me. Look at me. Stop worrying about that car. God's already replaced it." Okay. All right. Thanks, Lucius. So I wake up and that's done. I think I'm done, right? Lucius is talking. Now Moses is talking to me, and Lucius is talking to me. And I've encountered lions and a bear. And now I know, looking at this giant, right? If you explain this to anybody else, it's, yeah, take them away. Going through that, now I'm going to pick up where I left off yesterday. And I'm going to actually read the messages to you and some of the visions. Now, I left off on 1:1:14, and I got a few of these things. I've been getting a bunch of different verses. Now, this is the 14th. Let me make sure. Okay, no, I talked about that one last video. This is, I know, guys, this is nuts. I was also told to do two things, right? And you'll really love this. God told me to go shopping, and he said, "Look, go to Eschents, and I want you to spend $1,000 at Eschents." And I'm like, that is nuts. But I shop there, right? I shop there. I buy my hats from there, and they said I got the message. Every superhero has his cape, and your hat is yours, right? Like that's your signature. Embrace it. I also got a message from go spend $1,000 on Active Faith, right? And I talked about this yesterday. At Active Faith, everything was sold out. So yesterday, I get the message to go. I heard, yes, it's sold out, and I start getting these different visions and these different pictures of things that need to happen, right? I'll show you guys this. I showed you guys this last video, right? And I document all these notes just so you won't. I get these in the middle of the night. Look at these here. Let me show my screen. In the middle of the night. I know, guys. I know. This sounds crazy, but I get these in the middle of the night. And just recapping, I get all these pictures, right? Look at all these notes. These are in the middle of the night, and I give you my raw notes, and they're not edited and they're misspelled, so just you know exactly where they are. I get all these prophecy videos, right? And then I start getting these pictures. I start hearing, like, in the middle of the night, hey, if you want to find equity and stop getting checks from the guy that answers in the eye, and then I get a message to go look up, right? To go look up the dollar, because the answer's in the eye, and you want to help people get profit. And there's an eye and a pyramid on the back of the dollar, right? And I get this. I got my gift. So I thought I was gonna get I got a message to go see the Range Rover, to go get a gift, and the people at that dealership are extremely rude. And I got a message, hey, you're gonna need to wear a suit because you're going to have to swim away from the sharks, and but a whale will help you. At the previous dealership, there was a guy that helped me, and to kind of validate that I was getting a good deal on my other one, right? And when I left, his name was David, right? And I left my bag there, and he handed it to me, and right, this guy helped me, and just because if I left my bag, somebody was going to steal it for sure. And he helped me at that dealership. Right before I left, he said his name was David. There's only one interest out of that place. When I tried to find him again, he disappeared, right? Nowhere to be found. And his car was parked next to me. Like, all this stuff happens, right? And then when I went there, the shark, they wouldn't help me at the Range Rover dealership, the other ones. And I got a flashback from 6 years ago when I tried to just look at them, and they wouldn't help me. Like, I wasn't a good enough prospect, and she finally helped me because I was in a suit, and I heard, hey, these guys are sharks. So all those things happen. And when there's a picture on my vision board of a white and black Range Rover. Now, when the rude lady at the North Houston Range Rover place, she looked at me and she said, yeah, we don't really have anything. Look, and she wouldn't help me, and she said, I have this white one. And I said, that's not really my color, but I'll go see it. And she was rude, and she went to go show it to me. And when I see it, I said, hey, you have found your gift. And when I look at it, the seats are kind of off. They're real light. They're real light cream. And it's white and black, and it's not. And she leaves. She's like, hey, can we appraise your car? Now, granted, right after the previous encounter, my car is not running that great. But when they are appraising it, for some reason, there's no check engine lights on. It runs totally smooth. And then David disappears on me. Yeah, I know, guys. I know this sounds nuts. But back to when I received my gift, the other lady left to appraise my other car. And I know it's going to be like, they'll say, we'll give you $2 for it. Needless to say, I get the message of, you have found your gift. Your gift is creativity. And here's the message. Your gift is creativity, and the passion behind you putting together purpose with profit will be the unique gift that nobody else in this world will have, right? This is your gift. And later on that night, I start finding this, and my phone died, and I start looking things up, and I see messages from Steve Harvey, right, about a gift. And then I document all these guys. Look, here's a missed call from David. He calls me. I say, hey, here's that's how I found out what his name was. Right before I was leaving, I said, hey man, what's your name? And he said it was David. And then I said, hey, okay, David? Now, the significance of David is David's the one that encountered the bear and the lion and defeated Goliath, right? And he helped me at that dealership. Here's the proof last time of my COVID test, right? Here's the positive one. Here's the negative one. Beat it within 24 hours. Right. So all these different things. Call with Pastor Jordan. Now, last week too, like I created as everything that I create that's a like a task that's crazy, like an insurmountable task. I get people sent to help me. I know this sounds ridiculous. Oh, so they're sent now that you have accomplices in this. Let's go get them too. I get names that say, hey, do not do this. Don't kill yourself. Reach out to these people. And then I end up reaching out to these people, and it's exactly what I needed at that time. I get a vision of a game, right? Putting all of this stuff together yesterday, right? A vision of a game gives me a whole vision of a game of how to put together, the pieces with the lions, with the lion, the bear, the giant, the diamonds, the sharks, the whales, the dolphins, different cards, the lion card, the bear card, the giant card, how to win the game, right? Different pieces of media. And oh guys, oh, I know. You're like, this dude is nuts. But I'm embracing it, just like Pastor Jordan said. I get messages. Also got a message like this, and this is just recapping up to this point. This shirt, I get a message. Remember Active Faith? All this stuff was sold out. I was told, go spend 1K on your own clothing line, and I want you to create shirts, hoodies, create 7 items. Do this before Thanksgiving for Black Friday. Right? And then I get the whole pricing model and everything. It's just revealed to me. Ooh, I know, guys. I know. This is I get an album cover, right? I get an album cover on what should be on the album, right? And the vision for what should be on there. I get all the different books, the 54 books. Now I'm supposed to write 54 books before December 18th. I get a message about a performance, right? And in that performance, I get another vision of the Chicago freestyle, that same, and it's a rap, it's verses, and it's like a prayer, it's a praise dance, right? And I have it's kind of weird, kind of like a Mac Miller. You know how he moves and he gyrates a little different. A lot of it's because of the drugs that he does. But it's like a mummy. It's all kinds of, and it's weird. But the combination of that with the rap and the prophet, I was told it's a unique gift of creativity that nobody else would have. And then all those messages from. So let's fast forward here, guys. I'm going to read some of these messages that I've got, and then I'm going to show you. I believe in eating, so I'm going to tell you where we get to this. God replaced my car, like he said he was, right? And it was better than what I had before with the less of a cash outlay. So I'm going to go through this. I'm not even going to make you wait. That's what we're getting to. Oh, so at this time, I realized, and I go to eat, and I haven't eaten. Right? So I get this message. If you want a secret from the past that'll help you move with the dash, reach out to Abdul fast. I haven't eaten, right? I was doing research earlier, right, on that picture of the eye, right? This eye. Let me go back and share my screen. The eye of I have to show you this, right? Share my screen. And I'm in the same clothes as yesterday, guys. This is crazy. I tried to look the eye of the Providence, right? It's crazy. Look, the eye of the Providence is a symbol that depicts an eye often enclosed in a triangle surrounded by rays of light's glory, meant to represent divine providence, whereas the eye of God that watches over humanity. Right, and these are the message for the shirts that I'm supposed to make. The eye of the Providence, right? And the eye of the Providence, there's a few things. The first part means God's glory, right? And it's, guys, I know this sounds nut, and all this stuff just starts adding up. It just starts adding up, and you just see all the different religions that believe in the eye of the Providence, and I start getting all these messages from the pyramids, right? So the eye of this onto, and I'm gonna have to get somebody to say this right for me. Onto Charybdis, it means God favors our undertaking. The bottom part means Novos Ordo Selectrum, new order of the ages. That's what that means, right? That's what that means. So I got that message a couple days ago. I didn't know what it meant. And if you want to find, the answer, look into the eye. I know this, that's why I have to document it. Otherwise, y'all just, you take me away. I start getting promo videos. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. So yesterday, let me email these pictures to myself right now, because I'm going to tell you about yesterday, and this is nuts. So as I'm doing this yesterday, I wake up, right? I'm just trying to get some rest. I know I have to go way back to get things, right? I know I have to go find a way, because my Range Rover is still at that dealership. All right. So it's still at the dealership. I call my bank the day before. I do go to the dealership, and this is on Thursday. I do go to the dealership with my little girl, and the final dealership, and she's exhausted, my little baby, right? We've gone to 3 or 4 different places. And in going to 3 to 4 different places, the last one is the Land Rover dealership by where I live in the Heights. Or you know what? That did not happen. That was the next day. I went over there the next day. And I checked it out after I had breakfast with Brian. So Brian is one of my friend Jason's business partner for On the Spot. I'll show you guys this. The next morning, I have breakfast with Brian. And Brian says, hey, man, I know, he says, and they own these hand sanitizer. And we were trying to create a partnership a while back. And he says, it didn't, right? We're going to do something with Amazon. I was going to help all of my clients because hand sanitizer is a hot product. So I was going to help, and we were getting at it at a good margin. So again, I put that together, and I was like, look, we're going to help all of our clients who are buying hand sanitizer for somebody else. I'll give them a product that they can profit on and raise some money to the people, right? Say, hey, a portion of every single bottle goes to our organization. So just buy it from us, right? And it's advantageous. It would be cheaper than it would be, or at the same price than the other store, but they'd be able to raise money for their cost. So needless to say, that fell through months ago. And he finally calls me, and he wants to have breakfast again. Like during this time, I haven't been able to call him for weeks or talk to him for not weeks, months. And he calls me and he says, hey, let's have breakfast. So I say, okay, let's have breakfast. We had breakfast, and he says, I have plenty of stock now, man. There was a government contract that we were going to go after. As you know, we just started doing government contracts, and we couldn't get a sample. He's like, hey, man, we don't have samples, right? We don't have stock. Well, now they have stock, right? They have millions of dollars worth of bottles just sitting in a warehouse, and they're like, hey, that really, I don't know. Well, we're connected now, but I just want to see if there's any way we can get back together and put this together, because we have all these bottles just sitting here. And I said, okay, yeah, let's have breakfast. We talked about it. He gave me some samples. He said, yeah, let's get going on this as soon as possible. I said, all right, bet. I have a bunch of clients that can use this. And the funny thing is, I already had the product on my website because we were going to do the partnership before. Unfortunately, I just didn't publish it because we never could come to agreement on how it was going to work, because we didn't have stock or how it was going to be distributed, right? Because that's not my business. But if I can use it to fundraise, I can, because that's what we do. And he said, yeah, just get in. I said, cool, we'll turn it on. And at that same time, my guy in Miami, it says, hey, there's a couple contracts coming up, man. If you can get some samples, that'd be great. Are you reading? Okay. So I text him and I said, Brian, let me buy a box. Let me buy a box of this, and let me send it to our Miami office, right? So I can have samples, because I hear there's a few contracts coming up. Let me let's do that. Let's start there, and let me know we can start on this. So that's where that's at. I'm just out of the blue partnership that I've been trying to get going months ago, that we just started. So I don't know where that's going to go. And then I text Brian, and just like the messages, my fingers just took over. Now I text Brian, hey Brian, here, I'll show you the exact text message. And this is it's an out of the blue text message. I tell him where to send things, and I said I loved his message. I say thanks, man. We got it. We got the invoice paid, talking about the samples. I'm looking forward to getting the biggest contract we've ever got together. Some things are coming up. Those samples will help. Right? And I don't even know where that really came from. That just came in there. So I said, oh, okay. I'm going to email that to myself. That's where that's at. That's where that's at right now. The other thing is, so I'll walk you through this. Going back to the Range Rover dealership, after I have breakfast with Brian, I go and I just go to the Land Rover dealership just to see see what they got, see what's going on. And she shows me a car. She shows me a few things, and she's like, yeah, I really don't. And this lady is so nice, right? I talked to her probably about 3 months ago, and I told her, yeah, my car's getting it's getting older. But there's no really, I'm looking at these, and I remember that day going there. I was just driving by, and this was a couple months ago, and I was told, hey, stop in here real quick. You may need it, right? I'm like, my car's running fine. I'm good. Stop in here. And this lady was the nicest lady. I was in gym clothes, and I had my little girl, right? My little girl with me. And I go in there and I said, hey, do you guys have anything? And she's, my little girl's bouncing around, and she goes to get her some snacks. Now, keep in mind, I'm in gym clothes. I'm not looking, right? She has not, my car's parked in the back. She didn't see what I drove in, but she's just the nicest person. She goes to get my daughter some little snacks, and she said, well, here's what we have. And I'm like, that's a lot. I don't want to, spend that. Here's what I'm paying with mine. I don't know why I stopped in here, but I'm good right now. Let's talk over the next year or two, because I heard Teslas have the self-driving thing. I asked her when those come out. She said 2022, and I said, yeah, I'm a ride mine out, right? And then 2022, that's when I want to get a new one for sure. So she said, okay, we'll keep in contact. Let me text you my name, and if anything comes up, be just the nicest person, right? And if you were doing a profile, I couldn't even get help in the last one in the suit. And this one, right? So fast forward, I go back to that same dealership. Another guy comes in and he said, hey, I can help you. And I said, well, no, I really want help from this girl. I don't know her name. And he's like, well, she's probably not here. Let's get you take your girl. I said, no, man, I told this girl I'd come back if I'm gonna buy from her. I'm like, well, who is it? And right when he said that, this girl walks by, and it's a girl, and she said, hey, she remembered me. And I said, okay, how you doing? She's like, I'm with another customer. I'll be right back. I said, okay, cool. And I said, hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. But, I'm in sales too. So I respect the fact that if somebody helped me in the past, I go back to them. I said, no problem. I sit there. I ask her, hey, is there any, do you have anything? Do you have any 2018s, right? Because I like to go, not the newest model, but a few models back, just so you don't take that huge depreciation hit. And she said, let me look. And we went to go look at a few, and there was a few out there, and there was this one that was just sitting like alone in the grass, right? It was in the grass by itself. And I said, she's like, yeah, we have this. Oh, and this one's not listed, but we have this. Let me check on it. Let me see if I can get the keys. Alone in the grass, and this is in the grass, it's sitting in the grass, and I should have took a picture of that, but it's sitting in the grass by itself when everything else is and she said, well, this is a 2019, not an 18. It's a year, and let me check on the price. And she said, yeah, it's a little bit more than I know you wanted to spend, but of course, let's go back and see if we can make it work. And we went in there, okay, and we worked the numbers. I'm like, man, nah, it's just too much, right? I'm balling on a budget, and you're like, budget, Range Rover dealership. Well, still, you don't have a budget, right? And I said, nah. And she has the manager come over, and I said, hey, man, I need to get this at this kind of price because cash outlay, I'm going to have to spend a bunch. And he said, do you have your car? And I said, no. And I was always taught in cars, work the deal without the trade-in, just so you don't get to find the lady happen on you. Well, look over here. You got this. Here's the lady. Yeah, we're giving you twice as much, but they just take some off, right? Work the deal without the trade-in. So I said, okay, let's just work it without the trade-in. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It's too much. It's just too much. And the cash outlay, I'm trying to conserve some cash because I have this big performance coming up. And I don't know why I said that. I have this big performance coming up. Okay. So I'm looking at that, and the numbers just don't make sense. And I told her, Jessica, thank you, right? Because she's the nicest person. She said, I understand. I said, look, let me work some things out, and I promise I'll be back. You're gonna earn my business because nobody has treated me as well as you, especially with my little girl. So I want to buy from you. It just has to make sense. And she said, I understand. So I leave. When I leave, I called my bank and I asked them, hey, can you guys, because you usually can get I finance all my cars through my bank, and you can usually get a better deal through your bank on interest rate. And I have a credit union, right, that I've bought a few cars from, right, mine, and bought my mom a car. Now, at that same time, they said, yeah, I don't know, you have this other car too, so we'll see, right? Because I wanted to get a deal from my bank to see what we can compare with and see what we can get. So bottom line, that's that. Put in an application and they say, well, we'll get with you in 1 to 2 business days. I said, okay, 1 to 2 business days is fine. Really thinking, hey, can you guys get this a little faster? That night, my baby girl has dance practice, right? And as she does dance practice and I'm watching this is at 5:30. So I go, I'm supposed to, now keep in mind too, because my Range Rover, my car is in the north side, I have to rent a car, right? And now when I have to rent a car, I'm supposed to take back this car at 4 o'clock, right? This other car, because I'm thinking, hey, I have to work on all these books and this assignment that I've been giving. So I'm going to take the car back and just work on this stuff all weekend. I have to take it back at 4 o'clock. Now, my little girl's dance practice, hip hop classes at 5:30. So I was going to Uber there and everything. And I was told, no, don't. I was working on some things and I started getting a bunch of verses and promo videos and whatnot and visions. And I was in the depth working on it. And I was told, do not leave, right? Do not leave. And I get this. I get all of these verses that I'm working on. Oh man, I know this is crazy. I know this sounds nuts. Right? I have 3 visions. When I'm here, I get a dream within a dream, right? I shot that other video. So last night after I finished up doing the rendering, there's a portion of video that said "God damn" in it, right? And usually you don't say that in a video, especially if you're doing a video on, with God. But it says it is intentional. Look at your notes. I gave you a freestyle that says "Catch me if you can." Damn. And there was one of those hype videos that I got that. That's a Mac Miller verse, and it says, you have unlocked one of the ancient secrets of the pyramid that has been given over 6,000 years ago. There will be 270 hidden messages that will need to really be unlocked by your media. 4 different types shaped in the pyramid. It is already in your spreadsheet. Now, I'm giving you guys the car story, but I'm also giving you the things that I was working on before them that just came to me. So what they're talking about is the things that were worked in as a pyramid. And I know I'm skipping around, but y'all stay with me. So these were when I did the board game the night before, I wrote this down, right? Written media, visual media, audio media, track, right? That was written down when I wrote the game. Now, I get this message and I wake up and say, hey, written media, video media, audio, tack media, right? They're shaped in the form of pyramid. This portion of the prophecy video is where you talk about Mac Miller. And in the video before, I talked about Mac Miller and his tragic death from an overdose and how the industry just pushed him to get more out of him, right? He fell into a black hole similar to Abdul's brother. The video before that, I had a vision that said, hey, go get Abdul's brother a gift. And when I did, or go get Abdul a gift in the morning, about an hour later, I get a text from Abdul that his brother died unexpectedly, right? So I had to go with Abdul, and the gift, I thought it was give him a gift. I spent some time with him, right? And he said, man, I really want to memorialize my brother because this was not this was unexpected. Now he died at 34, so 3 plus 4, looking at my numbers, is 7, which equals lucky, right? And he was going through a lot of things, and at that time he was kind of suffering mentally. He was just in a black hole. So I'm just putting all this together, talking about ancient kings of the Egyptians. When they died with an unfinished mission, their spirit would go with another king and help them push forward in their journey. Mac Miller's spirit is going with you, and he had way more to give and died a tragic loss. Save 10 people before December 18th. Mac Miller will help you. All right, now it's getting weird, guys. It's getting weird, right? Listen to this. Hit the 5 senses now in order, right? And I write this down. Sight, you need to see it for yourself. Touch, you need to touch it for yourself. Smell, you will need to smell it for yourself. Taste, the taste has to be real for yourself. Uh, sound, you need to hear the sounds around you. You need to remember it like it's deja vu. So this is the second ancient secret from the pyramids: achieving goals and manifesting. Guys, I know I lost you, a few of you again. It's like, oh, okay, now this guy's talking about the pyramid. You got Mac Miller with you and the pyramid. Go check on this. Check his room, right? Check it for drug. Mac Miller. You know Mac Miller. I know it sounds crazy. So this is an ancient secret from the pyramid on achieving and manifesting goals, right? That you want for you and your family. A nation of these goals have to be bigger than yourself, right? Talking about the five senses, that's an ancient secret of the pyramids. You have to be able to see it, touch it, smell it, taste it, and hear the sounds around you in order for it to be real. Then your motivation to accomplish them, right? If your goals aren't bigger than just yourself, your motivation to accomplish them will be lacking. I already know that you are motivated and you have a hunger that is rarely seen in this world. By making you the chosen one and putting the burden, or in your eyes the opportunity, that's how I look at things, to help generations will motivate you more. Now you have unlocked another hidden secret of the pyramids, right? In order to master something or sell something effectively, you need to have a client visually see things in different ways. Some written, some visual and presentation, to hear through audio, some need touch. Teach this to your people so that they can master subjects they want and they can sell more effectively to keep more equity in their enterprises, because they have more revenue, tractions, customers, can cross sell, upsell, and exit for people that need that in the bait, right? Teach them how to get top dollar. Go call Clarence Avant. Go call Clarence Avant. He helped artists do this earlier in a more turbulent time. Send his people these videos and have one of your 12 disciple or rise man set up a meeting. He is waiting on your call. He is getting older. He would like to give this gift for you because before he comes with me. Set up that meeting. So I watched a documentary about Clarence Avant on Netflix years ago, right? This is probably what he used to do in the 60s or 70s. And he would go help artists, music artists. He would go help athletes. And a lot of them were African American that were getting screwed on deals. He would go help them negotiate deals with brands, large brands like Coca-Cola, right? And he would just walk into the office and say, hey, here's what we want. So now I have a message to go connect with him. And it says, connect with him before he would like to give you this gift before he comes with me, right? You need to take information from different concepts and watch the game around you. I want you to study elite coaches, music producers, kings, wise men, media, politician, barber, retail sales, dictators, door-to-door sales, pimps, hustlers, drug dealers, strippers, swimmers, elite customer service companies, all the skills you've learned in corporate America, psychiatrists, homeless people, artists. Create a TV show called Watch the Game Around You or Give Me the Game in unique areas. Wow. That Chicago, now at that time, that Chicago Windy City freestyle is playing, you start to visualize your performance. It's live. I started to visualize this performance. Go get more support. Contact your circle. You would need momentum of 270 by Thanksgiving, right? And I'll just tell you. So this dream, I'm in there, and it's a live performance. Like there's lights around. This is in the morning. There's lights around now. Right before then, when is this? The 14th. This is after I saw my little girl's performance. So my little girl is in hip hop class. That day, a few things happened. I dropped my car off, and when I dropped my car off, the place is closed. So they said, hey, just drop the keys in there. And I go to get the stuff out of the trash can, get some of the trash out of Enterprise and throw it away. And as I'm over the trash can, I hear the voice say, look for a gift in here. And I took a picture of it, and I didn't really realize what was in there. And I remember seeing a Starbucks thing and something else. And then I took a picture of the trash can. It said hint, right? There was a bottle in the trash can called hint. So I took a picture of it. I don't know what that means. After that, actually, that was after my little girl's dance practice, because I kept the car to go to her dance practice. I watched her. Now, a few of the things that I'm watching while I'm in there, and I don't know, did I put these notes in here? Yeah, I put these notes in there. Now, one of the things that my little girl does, she was really live, this performance, more live than I've ever seen her before. And during that time, she does this move where she does like a spin. And in that spin, she goes down kind of like James Brown, right? And I'm like, oh, that was fresh. I didn't even know she had that in it. Do your thing, girl. 3:25, I wake up that morning and I hear that Chicago freestyle. Right now, also, while she's doing this message or this dance, I started listening to this Chicago freestyle, and I like little things are coming out around me, things that I can use. I remember use some deep pain. So I remember there's a verse in there that says, remember that I put in here. And there's a verse. I'll show it to you guys. Chicago freestyle. This is crazy, right? I know I'm skipping around. I'll see you at the show tonight. Well, I'll see you at the throne tonight, right? I start rewriting the song.
to the plane, to the truck to the hotel lobby. Me, I go through underground garages, presidential suite on deposit, elevator up to the room, shower up and then we hit the club. Touchdown, gotta see what's up. Area code in my phone. What numbers do I still have? Who do I know from the past? Hit one, she say she got a man. Hit another one, it goes green. Must have changed phones on the team. Remember when you let me in between? That was 2017.
I talked about this last video, right? And her mom's sitting there. Her mom's name's Eileen, and I get this message, hey, write that in there. That's some pay. Remember when I got a divorce from Eileen? That was 2017. And I get this whole performance, right? I think I talked about that a little bit in the last video, right? About the whole performance on me performing in that whole vision. Now fast forward, I get that vision. Again, I know I'm skipping around here, guys, but all those different things. When I get that vision, I take a picture. I took that picture of that hint, and I take the car back. Next day, I'm going to the dealership. Remember, I already put that application in. I haven't heard from the bank, right? So I don't have anything to go in and kind of negotiate with. And I'm taking all these little different things that I've learned. And you're seeing raw in the cut, right? That Chicago, I get that vision again. That Chicago Wendy's freestyle is playing and the performance is live. Go get more support. So I get that the whole thing. Now the words are coming to me. Now I'm getting inspiration, and I see it's a praise dance, right? And I'm doing the Mac Miller dance, and I have white gloves on. There's praise dancing behind me, and I'm doing like this whole praise dance. The beginning, I start off with the little move that my little girl did. The performance begins with me down like that, kind of like a the old Genuine Pony song, right? When he starts down and he has a hat, it starts like that with my hand on the ground, and then I get up and just start waving my arms. And as they're going, I'm just going crazy, right? 2017. It's just a whole performance. It's a creative flow that I have never had in my life on performances or music or anything. It's bananas. It's bananas, right? I also had a dream of one of my clients that she sent me an email that my 501c3 is in, and in the email it says, hey, I got my 501c3 and it's in, and at the end she says, hey, the vote's in, right? 270. You got an uplifting text from Lauren, and this is kind of scary. This is my girlfriend right now. All right. It says, you got an uplifting text from Lauren. Keep her close. Just know she may not be the one. I know you're not wasting time or just for fun. Time will soon reveal what is to be done. She may lead you to treasure or have your son. You will also help her through a battle she is fighting with lions, bears, and she has a huge giant within her. Oh, my phone just died. Usually when my phone dies, that means I need to show you guys something else, right? I need to show you guys something else. So y'all know I'm not crazy. The other thing is, I want to tell you, before I leave, we'll go to the next day. Before I leave, remember the day before, I get a voice that says, hey, change your clothes into a suit, right? You want to change it to a suit because I want to make sure that you're right. You get a message about you're going to encounter a shark that you're gonna have to swim away from, and then there's wells. There's a well that will help you. Now today I get a message before I leave. I'm gonna put this other shirt on, and I hear this message. No, not that one. Go look into your drawer. And I look into the drawer, and I'm looking, and this shirt is at the bottom of the drawer. Now this shirt, he digs it. I hear, yes, get the one with the roses that symbolize me. Now, as you know, there was a crown of rose thorn bushes put on Jesus' head when he got crucified. And he said, I want you to think of me when you get this, when you get this. Like, I got a message that I was told I'd be torn down, so I wouldn't have much, and he wanted to use me, so he knows that everything that I have comes from him. Right? I can't make this up, guys, right? This is a long thing. When I go back to the dealership, and I'm telling this story about the dealership. So when I go back to the dealership, now granted, I have to find a way to get my Land Rover down. So I try to jerry rig it, and I was gonna have it towed because I wanted to see if it drove right. Hey, it worked the first time. Drove 40 miles. So what I did is I went up there, I put some coolant in it. And I said, hey, is Christian here? Oh, get this. My mechanic, his name is Christian. Oh, I just realized that. So I try to get my Range Rover down, right? Because I'm gonna try to just trade it in. So I jerry rig it now to it's about a 25-mile drive. I drive all the way down to there, and I was told, hey, by Christian. Christian was not there. Go to Stop in O'Reilly Parts, right? And here's a few things to just make the car look as best as possible before, right? You want to put some stuff in it so you have the best presentation. Now, at this point, I already have an offer from CarMax, right? So I know what my baseline offer is, and I would love for them to just match it. Now, as I get down there, a guy comes out and my car's starting, and he says, hey, man, your car's smoking, right? It's smoking, bro. So I'm like, oh, man, my car is smoking. That's not good. How am I going to sell this if my car is smoking? That's not going to work. So I decide, okay, I'm not going to drive it over there and try to trade this in if my car is smoking. So it's just not going to work. I'm like, man, this deal's just not falling right. How am I going to do this? Like, they're not going to want this. I have an offer from CarMax, and I'm just thinking, how is this going to work? I'm going to go over there. And I just get a voice that says, just go over there. Right. And I'm thinking, so I'm going to Uber to the dealership, and they're going to see that I have, okay. All right. So let's do this. I Uber over there. Right. And I'm going to show you guys the pictures once my phone comes back on. Now, what you didn't hear in that story is there was a lady that came out and helped me, and she said, I asked her if she can help me, and because I was going to try to fix it up and drive it over there. And there was this gentleman next to me, right? And he was just fixing some things, and it was kind of weird. Like he was just there, and he was just fixing some things. And he's the one that says your car's smoking, and he said, well, let me help you. What have you what do you got? It looks like an animal or something is like lodged into your tailpipe. You got a girlfriend or something that doesn't like you very much, or you got any enemies? Anybody try? I'm like, no, man, nothing like that. He's like, I don't know. The thing's it's smoking, bro. You see the smoke? I said, yeah, it wasn't doing that before. And this is out of the tailpipe. I said, my mechanic the day before said I may have a problem with some head gaskets. And he said, well, dude, that's not head gaskets. That's a smoking tailpipe. And I said, okay, that's weird, but okay. Yeah, I guess I'll leave it here. And he's like, well, let's go look. Let me look at. He's like, I'm a marine mechanic, so let me take a picture. Let's go look at the code. She can plug this in. And I said, well, I tried to look before. The lady tried to help me, and it wouldn't work. I don't know if the battery or whatever. He's like, go get it again. Go get it, and let's try it again. And I said, okay, let me go get it. And he's like, get a flashlight too. Get a flashlight and let's look at it together. So I said, okay, let's get a flashlight. We get a flashlight to look at everything, and he figures out, plugs in, looks at all the codes, right? And he looks at all the codes in here, and he said, okay, this code, this code. And for some reason, he's like, just so you know what these codes mean, just take a picture and you can look them all up, right? So he said, take a picture of this one, okay, okay, okay. Take a picture of this one, okay, okay. Take a picture of this one, okay, okay. And he said, yeah, I wouldn't drive it. He's like, let's look under the hood. We looked under the hood. There's not much there, and once my phone comes back on, I'm going to show you guys some of these pictures. He said, yeah, it's not there, but what you should probably do is probably just leave it here, let it cool down, not let it do anything. Give it a couple hours and then drive it over there. I said, okay, that's fine. So I go have a cup of tea at the Vietnamese place. I'm going to eat. Now, granted, over all this time, I'm not eating. I don't know. I'm usually a hungry guy and I usually eat a lot, but I remember getting that message about if you want a secret from the past, reach out to Abdul. He'll teach you to fast. Now, Abdul is Muslim, and every single Ramadan they fast, right? So I've never fasted really in my life, right? Even in prayer, or even during like our prayer time days, like food isn't something that I give up. I'll give up other things, right? Give up alcohol or give up certain other things for a period of time, but never food. I love food. I'm a foodie. I live in Houston. But there's just a lot of different things in there. Now, I don't end up going, right? And here's why. When I go over there, the guy opens the hood and he taps on the radio. He's like, man, this thing is still hot. I don't know what's wrong. It was smoking. But what I would do is just leave it here. I'm like, man, leave it here. Am I going to get towed? He's like, no, you're not going to get towed. Just leave it here. Now, the other thing is why I'm in the little Vietnamese restaurant, I'm thinking, man, my other bank hasn't called me back. I need to get this done early in the day. And I'm going to show you this message once my phone comes back on. I got a message of I'm going to give you access to your car by today, right? And that's earlier. So all this doesn't make sense. My car at this point, I'm waiting on an offer from my bank, so I call them back directly. And when I call them back directly, because I'm going to see, you know, what rate and everything I have, because I usually finance everything with them. I called them back and I said, man, I haven't heard anything from you guys. What's going on? And it's about 3:10 at this time, right? I look at my clock. It's 3:10, which is eerie again. It's 3:10. I called them back because they wouldn't call me. They haven't called me back. And I said, hey, I was just trying to check on my application. Um, I haven't heard anything. And she's like, you haven't heard anything? Log onto your portal because we sent you an offer last night. You just didn't get it. And I said, okay, you sent me an offer? Yeah. She's like, yeah, it's send you an offer, you can get it. Um, you have pretty good credit, so we can do it at 3.9%. And that's because, or we can do it at this certain percentage, and that's because, yeah, you have that other car right now, but once you, or was it 5.9%? But once you get that other car off of your books, right, we can go even lower on the percentage. It's just you have two cars right now. So I'm in a time crunch because I have to sell this car to CarMax in the next 7 days. There's a few different things that I have to set up to make all this happen. It is 3:40. She says the other thing is three. At that point, it's about 3:30. And she says, well, I'll send the wire instructions. If you want to call the dealership, I know you haven't finalized your deal, but I just want to make sure that we have the wiring instructions because if not, we leave at 4. And I said, okay, man, God, how's this supposed to happen? You said you're going to give me access to a car today. I don't have, the bank's about to close, right? And that's where I have my stuff from. My car, I can't go anywhere, and I hear just go. So I go to the dealership in an Uber. Now, there's a lot of Ubers you can get. The Uber that comes to pick me up is the most broke down Uber that you've ever seen. All right. So I'm looking at this like, oh, this is, if I could go in anything else. I got to pull up to the Range Rover dealership, explain to them why I don't have my car, explain, and then I hear, just sit back, right? Don't think about any of that. I go over there. I go to the dealership. I can't make this up, right? So I pull up to, granted, with no car in a beat up Uber. I go over there. Now, they don't see me. They're super, super busy. So the fact that I pulled up in a beat up car, nobody even noticed that, right? And the fact that I don't have my own car that I'm supposed to be talking about with the trade-in, right? Because they were supposed to do the deal, and I was probably going to finance with my own bank, and everything's good. So I don't have my own car, right? It's sitting in the parking lot. I don't have my own bank because at this point it's probably about 3:45, and it's like, man, there's no way that they're gonna get this. I finally sit down with the girl about 3:50. The bank has called her 2 or 3 times to give her the wire instructions and everything, and it's already 4 o'clock. They try to call her back, and now by the time they try to call her back and everything, it's about 4 o'clock, right? Now it's about 4 o'clock. And I'm thinking, okay, so I'm supposed to go to this dance. In one of the messages that I'll show you, I was supposed to go. It said, get inspiration, go look up the Jabberwockies and the dance class that I'm supposed to go on Monday, right? Make those feet so loose. The guy invited me to a thing at 6:30, right? So I go, I'm under a time crunch, and I tell him, hey, I gotta be out of here by 6:30. And one of the things that she said, she's like, do you have your car here? Yeah, because we want to appraise it. And I said, and right before I said that, she said, hold on, let me tell you a secret. Like, and this, I told you, this is one of the nicest ladies. She's like, you're trading, if you already have a good offer for CarMax, we're probably not going to give you that much more. So don't even worry about the trade-in, right? But I'll tell you, where we could do is, it works out better for you sometimes if we finance it. So can you give us an opportunity to finance this, right? I know your bank's off the line. We can wait till Monday, but Let me just see what we can do. Okay. I said, okay. Now, in the back of my mind, I don't have my car, right? I don't have my car at all. So there's no way they could even try to appraise it and work that to the deal. I said, you know what? If y'all want to trade, that's cool. We'll just run it that way. I don't have my car, so we can't run it that way. We can't run it that way. I can't make this up. So she says, okay, let me go back. And she says, what rate are you getting and what are you now? The offer that my bank gave me was a good offer, but the only thing about their offer was I was going to have to put about $10,000 down, right? And I didn't expect to have this huge cash outlay. So if I have to do it, like I'm in between a rock and a hard place because I have to do something. I have a other vehicle that's going to cost me $15,000 if I want to fix it. So I'm like, I'm in the spot right now. She says, what did they offer you? Look at that. I'm telling the story and my phone comes back on. What did they offer you? And I said, well, they offered me, I'll tell you what they offered me. They offered me the opportunity to have, I believe, and I told her they gave me 5.9%. And she said, okay, let me see what I can do. So she comes back, and of course, if you've ever dealt with finance, it's not just an easy, simple process, right? And I tell her, well, I gotta be honest with you. We can do this, but I have to be gone by 6:30 because there's this performance that I have to get to, right? And she says, okay, I think I tell her 6. I gotta be out of here by 6 because there's this performance that I have to get to. And she says, okay, that's fine. Just sit tight. Let me just see what we can do. We'll figure out what we can do and go from there. And I said, okay, that's fine. Now, during that same time, and I'm working on this to send everybody the pictures. During that same time, I go outside, right? Because it's going to take a little long. I said, well, can I go see it again? Last time I didn't spend that much time. I didn't spend that much time seeing it. So can I go, check it out? She said, yeah, go check it out. So when I go check it out, I walk out of the door and there is a couple different things there. Now I'm pressing the keys and it's not working, right? It's not really working. And I'm like, this is because I go back to the car that's sitting in the grass and it's not working. Now, when it's not working, I said, man, what is, because it was sitting in the grass. The guy next to me says, well, dude, I think you're getting this car, right? So I was pressing the button, but it was getting this car. So I turn around and the car, right, that I was prospectively looking to buy is like on a pedestal, right? And I can't make this up. I shot a video and it's sitting like on a pedestal higher than like any, how you walk into a dealership and they have their showcase vehicle. The car had moved from where it was to that point. Like on a showcase. Let me see if I can plug in my phone. I'm telling you, I can't make this up. It's crazy. On a pedestal, guys. Let me see if I can show this to you. It's loading. It's sending over. I know I got about 20 more minutes, but I'll just send you one. It's nuts. I'll put all the pictures in here that I talked about. But needless to say, They come back. The bank comes back and says, you know what, we can do this, but bad news. It's or not so good news. It's gonna be about 9% interest, but the good thing is we can finance the whole thing, right? And I'm like, yeah, that's not good. 9%, that's a lot. And as I'm going out and I'm looking at this car on the pedestal, even before I go back inside, I hear take the offer, right? And I just don't understand. So I go back there and they're doing all this rigmarole and it takes them a couple hours. And I just don't like, he tells me 9%, and I'm like, man, or here's what they do at first. At first they said, let me see what we can do. And they come back with some numbers, but they haven't, the way finance works, they haven't submitted it to the bank yet. So they have to get it approved, right? And get it solidified. So the first numbers they came back with were like 5.9%, showed me the interest rate, and they financed the whole thing. And they said, well, let's try something. Let's go out to 84 months. And I was always told, if you finance a car and can't do it in 60 months, then you probably can't afford the car. But they said, just do it that way. Let's just look at 84 months. And I was like, okay, we can do that. Now, doing the math in my head, and I'm going to show you guys the game on this. Long story short, once I get everything back, here I'm trying to show you guys the pictures. Can't make this up, guys. This is real. Why that is sending, right? You see the back and forth. I'm gonna read to you going back. It's kind of like Lovecraft Country, right? You're going back and forth. I'm going back into the messages that I got about when I woke up early this morning, right? Last one is you got a lifting text from Lauren. Keep her close. Just know she may not be the one. I know you're not wasting time or just for fun. Time will soon reveal what is to be done. She may lead you to treasure or have your son. You will also help her get through a battle she is fighting with the lions, bears, and she has a huge giant to overcome. I want you to go to that dance battle. Remember, this is earlier. I want you to go to that dance battle. I know you don't have a functional car. Don't worry, you have access to a new one. This is back in the morning. Wire 7,653 to your Randolph Brooks account this morning. Also, file for the corp and change your Instagram. I didn't do that. Also, make sure you upload your notes to Google and YouTube. Otherwise, you will lose scrolls, a mistake that your ancient ancestors had. This is actually an unlocked secret of the pyramids. Number 4, keep copies of your scrolls or a vault that your enemies, lions, don't find them. You will be able to unlock 54 secrets of the pyramids. The rest will have to come from 4 others, a total of 270 secrets that will come to break the barrier. So out of all these books, there's going to be 270 ancient secrets from the pyramids. I know I just lost you again, right? Hey, now he's talking about the pyramids with his lines. Maybe we should put him in the pyramids with his line. Go with these nice men, sir. Right? No, it sounds crazy. The ancient secret number 5, in order to achieve greatness, you will need 5 people that have the same hunger, drive, and passion as you, but maybe in a different industry, have different skills, care about a different cause, or know about different concepts. They will also have different ways to earn equity. It's the power of the close circle that breaks barriers, right? The power, if like-minded people come together is essential to success. Most of your people, listen to this, most of your people want to work alone. Teach them and show them success of working with a close network. It will help them gain more equity, rise out of captivity faster with the synergy, and come into the promised land. And then I get this picture, guys. Look, these are my notes. Let's see if I can make it focus. Right? And then I get this picture of people rising, and there's 555, as you see in the form of a pyramid. As you have more people that are really close, the 5 people that are closest to you will ultimately determine where you go. And as you do that, you start to break barriers and see the brim. Now go get it. Remember what Lucius told you when he looked in your eyes. This is a message in the morning. Remember what Lucius told you when he looked in your eyes, right? And he told me, look, don't worry, God has already replaced it. Also, if you need a light unto your feet and a light unto your path, just pray. P.S. Download the Chicago Freestyle lyrics. It'll help you rearrange how the words are clear. So I'm going to show this to you guys. Dude, just insurmountable. Long story short, so I go in there, and the girl says, and granted, it's probably like they're under the rush because they know that I have to get there. I have to leave, right? I have to get this performance together. So they're rushing. They have an offer. They're trying to get the best offer. They're like, look, I know, just give us a chance, because they're trying to rush. They're like, okay, you don't have a trade-in. Let me just get you the best deal, right? Because she's cutting to the chase because she knows I have this deadline that I have to get out of here, and she wants to get this deal done too. So there's like urgency to get it done, right? I don't have a car. It's somewhere else. And she's like, hey, don't worry, just leave your car out there. Let's just get this done. We'll work it without the trade-in. You already have an offer for CarMax. Just take it to them and get that offer done, right? So they come back, and she's like, look, this is the best that they can come back with. It's 9%. I'm like, yeah, that 9% is a lot. And I remember what I heard after when I was looking at the car, take the offer. And I'm like, take the offer at 9%? That's astronomical. That's astronomical. So 9%, that has nothing, that's ludicrous. So I go to the bathroom, and he said, just come into and talk to the finance guy, right? Because most of the time, at 9%, people would just walk away, say, no, thank you for playing. But I go back and talking to him, and I talk to him, and he's like, yeah, man, there's a lot of different banks. We can only do 9%. And in my head, though, like, I'm starting to look at the cash outlay, right? Because 9% is ridiculous, but I don't have to put $10,000 down, because I was told I'll need it for this performance, these 270 books, all these other things, right? So I don't want to have that huge cash outlay of $10,000. So I go, and he said, look, they have this program. Right now, they have a promotion that they're running. They'll do 9%. But they'll extend your payments out, and you don't have to pay anything for I think it's 45 to 60 days. And I said, well, that doesn't. And then right when I say that, it makes sense, and I get like a clear picture of math in my head, one of the concepts that we're writing one of those 270 books up is ROI, TCO, and total cost of ownership. So when I look at I get like a clear snapshot of this in my head. So remember, if you go back, and just giving you some game, if you go back, my bank told me, look, we can do this at 3.9%. we can do this at 3.9%. We just need a little bit of cash down in this. But I'd have to have a $10,000 cash outlay. But they're telling me, hey, this is 9%, right? 9%, you don't have to pay for 60 days. By that time, the reason why the interest rate was a little higher with my bank was because I had another car. Now, if I get rid of that car, which I'm about to sell for CarMax, I take the 9%, which means my payment is a lot higher, but I don't have a payment for 60 days. I get a snapshot of the spreadsheet, and I'll do one for you guys. Now, this spreadsheet shows that I am walking out of here with $0 out of pocket, right? And then I get another message that says, fulfill your journey, and this will be paid off by the time your first payment is made, right? At the same time, though, it still makes sense because I get rid of my other car. And he said, the other thing he said is, dude, once you get this, you can refinance it and get a lower rate. And I think my other bank, they've done this before. They refinance. So I can refinance this back to a 3.9% rate, have no cash outlay, and have the payment less than what I was paying for my old Range Rover with maintenance and with my payment. So I'm walking out of this dealership with a brand new car for less than I was paying for my old one. Y'all hear me? Y'all ain't hear me. Look, I want to show y'all this video, right? I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up. I'm going to show you this and then I got to go. But guys, I'll show you the next video. I cannot make this up. And I'll send you just this. I got to go to church after this and just praise him. Look at this. Look, when I look, that is the car in the grass, right? Because the day before when I came, the car was in the grass. Look, you see this? It's like on the pedestal. It's raised above everything else. And I'm walking out with this car for they're financing the whole, no money down, 0 payments for the next 2 months. And once I start paying, I will be paying less than I was paying with maintenance and with my payment than my last car, right? Because it's an older car. I was probably having, maintenance on Land Rovers is expensive. I was probably paying a couple $100 in maintenance here and there, right? If I add up, the bills for the year and divide it by the maintenance, that's how I do things. I anticipate having a couple $100 in maintenance every single year, right? Look, Lucius Lyon hit me. It's crazy, but y'all gonna start watching now. What color are the seats? They're chocolate. Now, I have the limited edition one where most of them, they're like, if you have tan seat, they're like tan. but these are like mocha chocolate seeds, right? And what are we? What is my goal to do? It's to build equity for my people that have been in captivity, minorities, right? So you got y'all ain't hearing me, man. I'm about to throw my computer out. You hearing this? I was worried about what I had in my hand. I was worried about my own thing. And he said, don't worry, I'll replace it. He told me I would beat the lion in 24 hours. I beat him. He told me I would beat the bear in 3 to 4 days. Come on, y'all ain't hearing this. Y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all with me? Yeah, we gonna get some clients to beat some giants today. I gotta end it there, y'all. But look. I got some more verses and some things here. I'll leave you with this, and then I gotta go. I gotta go. I wake up today, 6:30 a.m. I'll go through this real quick. A couple of videos that I get. One, I get a promo video. I told you I've been listening to Nipsey Hussle, right? He spoke some things in the universe and they appear. I tried to tell you to find your purpose or you're wasting air. I want to teach y'all, but y'all just scared. And then I get another promo. Look, I spoke something in the universe and they look at that's a rant. Like, I don't just do this to stunt and I'm like the building the block and all that. That's to show kid. Look, I'm not a pimp, no a player. I'm just a giant and a slayer. Look, I'm not a pimp, not a player. I'm just a giant slayer. Beating lions and bears, man. It's just not really fair. Are y'all getting purpose or the mayor? Let's get up in the chair. I got rims. I got fares. I can get anywhere. It's an apple or a pear. Let's fruit. Yeah, it's there. Giving us Bentleys or Monaires. We just have, oh, we know you have your show. You just have to care. Raise your hand and prepare if you want what's over there. Come in now to the fair, the truth that's there. You want to, this is just coming to me, guys. I've never written, you want purpose and the profit, just come in and unlock it. Another one. Now, I'm not a rapper or a preacher. I'm just an equity teacher, teaching kids to beat you. Look, teaching kids to beat you before they even greet you or even try to meet you. Not trying to get this feature. If you want to get in this feature, you have to beat the creature. As cute as it can be, it can truly eat you. Y'all ain't hearing me. I'm not another one. I'm not a rapper, and this I get the Mac Miller, right? I'm not a rapper or a preacher. I'm just there's gyrations with this. I see this. I'm not a rapper or a preacher, just an unorthodox teacher, right? I get this morning. Got some things I want to teach you about equity in speeches. But if you want to have this feature, you're gonna have to beat some creatures. Now, here's important. I sent that video to Lauren and my girlfriend. She sent a video back to me and sent me a video of her and it was pretty good. I'm like, man, is that her giant she needs to get out? I'm not a rapper nor a preacher, just an unorthodox teacher. Got some things I want to teach you about equity in speeches. But if you want to have your feature, you're going to have to beat some creatures. They will try to devour you and eat you. Hold on, Pastor Daniel, nice to meet you. Hat tip, right? And I get this. As I say that, I get a vision of remember I was told, reach out to Daniel. He's going to put you into a den with 54 lions, right? Reach out to Pastor Daniel. He can help you. I hate to give you details about all the drinking and females. These are things I got to retail. Hold on, you reading my mail. Now, if you want to beat the giant, you're going to have to be a client. You don't have to be defiant, just one speech that is reliant. It will make you bigger than Mr. Bryant. Now, hold on, one more voice for fun, and then I promise I'm done. I got a feeling about his son, and I promise he's the one. Then I get the message. I want you to show Pastor Daniel your gift after Bible study. Start pulling in people to help you with the beat. And I get a vision of me telling, because I've been trying to get in touch with Pastor Daniel and tell him, dude, I promise, Pastor Daniel, I'm not crazy. And he called me and said, hey, I'm preaching this weekend. That was this weekend. And he said, let's get up next week. And I got a vision of me talking to him, saying, hey, man, I'm not crazy. Look, let me show you this. Let me show you this. And I get one of the guys and I say, hey, can you hold this beat for me? Right? And then I get two other guys and they all start clapping. Right? And I said, look, Pastor, I promise I'm not crazy. And then I do this same verse that I just did, right, in Bible study, and I get the other guy, and there's this really tall guy, and I said, have you ever praise dance? Look, let me show you. And he starts it, and we do a little performance just to show them, and he's like, whoa, okay, right? I get this other guy and say, hey, I'll need a mic. Is there any white gloves? I'm feeling in my spirit that there's some white gloves. Give those to me, right? You will have to do this on Sunday at Bible study. It's a month before your first performance. I look at the calendar, and that is the 18th, right? A month before your first performance. Give me a vision at church watching. Okay, and then I get this, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this. We done. And then I get this vision, right? I'm walking out of church, and there's a kid looking at my car. He says, nice car. He asked me what you do. I said, I'm an equity teacher. And he says, huh? And I said, I teach people to find their purpose and profit with it. I asked him what his name is. He says, Joseph. He's a young African-American kid, most likely about 10 years old. I hold on and ask him, I hold on and ask him if he wants to see inside and visualize, right, what he's going to get. And I asked his mom, hey, is that okay? She said, yeah. He looks at his mom like, hey, yeah, you can go. His mom says, yes. And so we're walking. I'm walking by them, and in my spirit, I'm feeling that she's a single mother. And this is all in a vision, right? I let him inside and asked him, look, man, I want you to smell the leather. Look, I want you to feel on the steering wheel. I want you to look through the windshield and imagine yourself driving down the highway. Now, remember what I said earlier of the vision that I got about the ancient secret of the pyramids? Look, I asked his mom to take a video and tell him, say these words: I'm a billionaire that provides equity to those all around me, and nothing can stop me when I'm in the walk. He says, huh? And then I said, okay, let's say it again. Look, Joseph, say these words: I'm a billionaire that provides equity to those all around me and says nothing can stop me. I'm in the walk, right? I let him know this is his prophecy. Keep God first and you'll never come in second. And then I get a vision of this is one of the kids that breaks, one of the 54 that breaks the $1 billion barrier from my circle. Before we leave, his mom starts crying, and I ask her what her name is. She says Jacqueline. And I ask her what she does. And before I let her finish, I say, hold on, before I let you finish, I'm getting a feeling, and I'm getting a feeling that this does not define what you want to do or who you are? She said, yes, I love dance, but I've been working in sales. But I just got laid off. I said, okay, let me give you my card. Are you calling me? Oh, they're calling me in because I have to do a gig, whatever that gig is. Email me. Let me text you our. And I said, no. Actually, I have an opportunity card, and I gave her an opportunity card. You may want in. Actually, I pull out an opportunity card and tell her, go here. It's a website, and it has whatever she's interested in. I have different ways for people to find opportunity, and I give her that. And right after that, I got a message, go make some opportunity cards, right? The encounter will happen. This is the message I get. The encounter will happen shortly after I finish the second part of my mission and have 270 books created after my second part. I also get a message, go create a record label called Purpose for Profit Records. The king is here. I don't know what that means. You will have a studio at each one of your 270 communities that rise up from the dust in the middle of nowhere, like the pyramids, showcasing unique talent at this time. I'm done, guys. I got to get to church, but you know we'll do this again. Love y'all. Right before they before like somebody's gonna hear parts of the story before I go. Have them watch the other videos so they know I'm not. This guy said, yeah, this guy talked about giants and lions. There's angels. I got this new car. Did he steal that car? Where did he get that car from? Yeah, we blessed.